Hello. I may sound a little bit weird. I have not been very well. And I'm still not there yet, but my voice keeps going in and out. I feel a lot better than I have done. And I've been resting my voice all day, so I'm hoping it's gonna hold out. We'll see. Can everyone hear me okay? Oh, okay. Brilliant. You can unmic yourselves for a minute or two if you want, and just let me know if you've got any questions.
I'm not sure, Sarah. I think I've had a busy week with my posts. Some have been nightmarish. Some have gone okay, and yeah, I think it's for me. It's just been a real learning curve.
It is. It's a huge learning curve, and you've gone straight into Instagram, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
And honestly, I've been looking at them all, and they're absolutely brilliant.
You think so?
I absolutely do. I know that you were kind of concerned about some of them, and you were having a heart attack because wasn't one of them the wrong way round, or well, it was the right way around, but it wasn't the orientation that you wanted.
And then I wanted to put some wording on, and then I panicked a bit, and I thought, oh gosh, you know what? Just get it out there, and then I can always, make sure as I go along.
And that's the thing. You got it out there.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be perfect. It really isn't. And you could sit there and nitpick every single one of them, but it's just going to hold you back on the other things. This is only one part of what you've got to do for your business. Yeah. So if you put yourself down too much, you'll just start doubting yourself, and then you'll stop doing it. And it's that taking action that you've actually been doing, Hyacinth, that's exactly the right thing. When we climb into a car for the first time, we don't just drive off and take corners perfectly and, and change the gears perfectly. We stall loads of times and we crunch the gears and we end up in the wrong part of the road and frighten everybody silly. And it's exactly the same when we're doing this. Honestly, I think you've done brilliantly, and you haven't just done one post. You've been doing several posts now. I've seen 4 or 5.
I think I got 5. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, it's a huge accomplishment. And if the more you do it, the more you just know what you're doing. Yeah. And it just becomes easier and easier.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. The other thing is, when you first start doing them, you probably don't have much of a library of photos and videos and things to call on.
Yeah.
So it takes more time because you're putting all of that together. Whereas after a while, every time you make soap, every time you're packing things, every time you do anything, you'll be taking little bits of footage, and you'll end up with this big repository of snippets and images that you can call on over and over again.
Okay.
And honestly, it does get so much easier. And I'm going to be sharing some software with you all today as well that really does simplify it, but they're not all free. So I'd love to give you everything free, and I will give you some free ones, but I also want to show you some things that are out there that do cost a little bit of money, but my goodness, they just make life so easy. And there's always this battle in life, isn't there? Time versus money.
Yeah, of course.
So I'll give you a few options. You can go away, check them out. And I'm sure most of them actually give like a free trial, or you can check out a whole load of YouTube videos. I'll put some up either later today or tomorrow for each of the different ones, so that you can kind of get a feel for what it might be like for you.
Okay.
Well, hello, everybody. For any of you who weren't here at the beginning, I am still pretty under the weather. So I apologize if I sound like some kind of, Well, I don't know what I sound like. It can't be pleasant anyway. I will do my best to answer any questions today, but I will not be doing a super long call today because I just don't think I've got it in me. But
thank you for doing it at all.
Oh no, not a problem at all. I've been resting and well, I haven't had a choice. I really haven't. But I've been excited to come on and talk to you and share some bits and pieces. So there are a few things that I wanted to go over today because I've tried to keep up with all of the comments and emails. I know I'm behind on main emails, but for Social Stars, I really have tried to keep on top of them. If I have missed yours, please just resend it to me. I didn't do it intentionally, and I'll get back to you. But there are a common theme that I'm seeing, and it's completely normal. And I wanted to kind of go through this with you in two ways. One of the things that's coming through is perfectionism, I think. People are worried that it's not perfect, and that it's taking quite a bit of time. Well, it's going to take time. Anything new is going to take time. There's no way around that. But honestly, there are some amazing tools out there which will speed up the process for you no end. And once you understand what you're doing, you're literally just copying the same pattern over and over again, and you'll just have it down pat. It'll take you a couple of minutes to put one together once you've really got the hang of things. The perfectionism, we've really just addressed in some ways. It doesn't matter how long we do things, if there's no comments coming back, if you haven't had a sudden flurry of likes and comments and shares and all of the other things, you start doubting yourself and you think, well, is anyone interested in this? Am I not doing it the right way? And I just wanted to be clear with you. Let's say that you had 1,000 followers on Facebook, for example. Doesn't matter which platform, but we'll call it Facebook. If you had 1,000 followers and you put a post up and you get 10 likes, you're looking at it in disbelief and you're thinking, well, nobody likes it. What did I do wrong? And firstly, you're internalizing it and making it about you. And the things that you're putting up there, they're not criticizing you, and they're not putting you down in any way, shape or form. And they're not judging you either. So you need to be clear and scrap all of that. And you need to think about the reality of any type of platform. If you've got 1,000 followers, how many people do you think Facebook is actually going to put it in front of out of those 1,000 people? Because you might be thinking all 1,000 of them are going to get to see it because they're all followers of yours. And that's not the case at all. You might be lucky if Facebook puts that in front of 50 of your followers out of the 1,000. And then you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, if I've got 1,000 followers, why is it not putting them in front of all 1,000? Well, if they're not commenting and they're just kind of looking at it or occasionally pressing the like button, then it's not sending the signals to Facebook that they like this channel and that they want to engage with it. So Facebook just stops showing it to them. So you have to actually tell people that if they like it, make sure to put a message or a comment at the bottom, because that sends a signal then to Facebook or Instagram or wherever. Oh, this person likes this channel. They might want to see more of their posts. But if everybody just looks at it and does nothing, or they just click the like button does nothing whatsoever. Facebook's just like, well, that's nothing. It wants people to actually be interacting. They're looking for community. Okay, so there's been several comments coming through, and I 100% get this, where people are saying, what are people saying, Sarah? They seem I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm living in a cotton wool world at the moment. Oh, yes, I know what it is. So they're saying that they're scared of posting or something similar to that, scared of posting or scared of posting too much because they don't want to upset people or they don't want people to feel offended by having these posts put in front of them all of the time. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Most of them aren't even going to see it. So you can't be worrying about whether someone is going to be offended that you've actually posted about your business. You're running a business. You are there to put posts and information in front of people. Whether they want to see that or not want to see that is entirely up to them. They have the option to scroll past it, to click away from it, to delete it, to unsubscribe from it. They've got a million options. That's even if it gets in front of them in the first place. So you're worrying that you're putting too much in front of them. How many of you right now, just wave your hands, how many of you right now are actively posting at least once a day? Once a day. So we've got two people. Two people are posting once a day. How many people are posting more than once a day? Nobody. So one post a day is the minimum that you want to be posting. If you look at businesses that are really, really growing on somewhere like Instagram, for example, and you look at how many times a day they're posting between their reels and their stories, how many times a day do you think they're posting to get real growth in their business? Where it just starts really taking off.
Probably 3.
5.
Yeah, 5 to 6 posts a day is what they recommend if you want to see real growth. Now, I am not going to sit here and scare you to death thinking you've got to do 5 or 6 posts, because right now I'm struggling to get some people to do one. And we have to take it in baby steps. We all know that. If I came on day one and said to you, right, I want you to do 5 posts a day, you'd never come back. You'd be like, I'm gone. And nobody would start out in that position either. The first thing is to be posting regularly. So if you can't manage every day, then do it every other day, but you need to be consistently posting. And honestly, if you're not going to be doing it once a day and build up to once a day at least, you're just going to be invisible, because your competitors who are prepared to get online and actually put material out will. Now you might be thinking, well, oh my goodness, how am I going to find enough material for that many posts? And this is where the beauty comes in. Most of the content gets repurposed. So you're not having to produce brand new material all of the time. It can be reused over and over and over again, either just as it is, or tweaked a little bit, or just zoomed in on a photograph, or zoomed out, or cropped, or, a photo put into a video reel. There's tons and tons of different ways to just repurpose that same material. And the beauty is that with ChatGPT, we can take even the words that you've put in there and pop it into ChatGPT and just literally ask it to rewrite it for you. So it's a couple of seconds and you've got a brand new post that you can use again. So it really doesn't take very long before you can start reusing it. And I'm sure if you follow people on Instagram, for example, you'll have seen a post that they did last week is now in a new reel, in the middle of a new reel, but it's maybe got a different photo frame around it or a different sticker on it or something else. And they're just repurposing a lot of the material. There is an amazing lady, you can look her up on YouTube or Facebook. She's called Molly Mahoney. And Molly has shown over and over again, she uses software called Metricool. and you don't have to use Metricool, but she uses something called Metricool, and she'll put a post up into Facebook, and as soon as that's actually been posted, she'll reschedule that same post to go up again in a couple of months' time. So 6 weeks to 2 months' time, that post will be back up there. And it's not even being changed. Most of it is pretty identical. Same theme, same story, whatever it is. And then she's shown us her statistics many, many times. And quite often, a post that she's put up 6 times already is actually getting more likes and shares now than it did the first few times that she put it up. But we in ourselves are like, well, they've already seen that. Well, even if someone did get to see it on their feed, do you honestly sit and read every single one from top to bottom and read the whole thing? Or do you just, you're scanning, you're flicking by a lot of the time? Now, that brand is sticking in your brain because you're going through it and you're seeing the brand name, you're seeing the person's name, you might even be seeing the photograph. So it's registering with you. It's a touch point. And all of these touch points help to build that know, like, and trust that we need in our businesses. Did you know that if you are trying to sell to cold traffic, people who know nothing about you, it generally takes a minimum of 60 touch points before they're ready to buy from you? 60. So if you're putting a couple of posts out a week and wondering why you're not getting loads of sales, it's because you're not making enough touch points with them. You need to be on their mind. They need to be seeing you regularly. A touch point is where you're literally just getting in front of them. You're being registered as a brand and they're connecting your products and your brand. And every time they see that, you're making a connection, or what we call a touch point, with them. So then when it comes to someone's birthday and they've seen you over and over and over in their feed, they've built up that know, like, and trust. You're like an old friend turning up in their feed. You're regularly there every day. Oh, it's such and such. But that particular day, you've put something up about Mother's Day gifts and they need a Mother's Day gift. Well, now you've built that rapport with them. Now they'll go in and they'll be like, oh, that's perfect. I need a Mother's Day gift. I do it all of the time. I'm regularly just scrolling on by, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know, that's perfect. I know who to go to. The rest of the time, I just scroll right by them. But I know them because they're in my feed all of the time. And that's where you need to be too. So I don't want you to be worried about doing 5 posts a day at this time. Let's get you to 1 post a day regularly, at least Monday to Friday. So you're doing 5 posts a week. And then you'll start having that big library of material, and you can pop another one up for the afternoon, and you can pop another one up for tea time when they get home. So I always like to think of it as something for when they're waking up or when they're traveling to work. Gillian, 60 touch points means that they've seen you, or they've either seen you in the feed, or they've liked or commented or shared or seen you at an event. It's the amount of times that they've had contact with you. So think of touch points as contact points. And whether that's in person, whether that's seeing you at an event, or whether that's seeing you online, it's exactly the same. So,
and it was 60 points to before, I can't, what was it again? 60, you need.
They need to really have contact with you in some shape or form at least 60 times before they're ready to normally make a purchase.
Right.
That's how many times someone who doesn't know you needs minimum of 60 times before they'll normally consider buying from you. Think of it like when you go into a supermarket, there's a new brand out and you kind of look at it a bit suspiciously. You don't rush over to it and think, oh, something new. Very, very few people do. They kind of look at it and they just go for the regular brand they always buy because you know, you like it. it's a safe choice. But after you've seen it loads of times and it's suddenly got some special deal on it, you're like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to try that. Because it's not new to you anymore. You've seen it over and over and over, and you might have seen ads about it, or your friend might have talked to you about it. So now it's become more familiar to you. And now there's also some kind of special offer on it. So it's a no-brainer. You might as well try it now. But it'll sit on that shelf in the supermarket for ages before you actually go ahead and try it normally. It's exactly the same with your products. And this isn't just online. This is exactly the same when you do in-person events as well. So I'll hear people say, well, I did such and such an event and people were looking, but they weren't buying. So I'm never going to do that event again. But the whole point is that they have no idea who you are. You haven't built any know, like, and trust up with them. So why would they just instantly buy from you? But if you're from the local area, if you're turning up regularly and they keep seeing you on that market, they're eventually going to come over and their other product that they were using has now run out. And they're like, oh, I see her here every week or every month. I'm going to buy from her this month. And there's a huge difference. So some people will just literally go from event to event to event to event, always chasing a new event, but they're missing out because they're not building any loyalty to that particular audience. Okay. Are there any questions on that before I move on?
I've got a question. Could I just ask Sarah, the Molly that you mentioned on Instagram, how do you write her name? Because I'd be really interested to see her.
Molly Mahoney. Let me pop
Molly
it into
Mahoney.
the chat.
Thank you.
I'm going to actually try and bring up her Facebook.
I just love the fact how she's already rescheduled the post, because it's like a no-brainer. It's already in there 3 months later. So that's
Exactly.
A couple of questions here.
Thank you.
1 second.
Sure thing.
Molly Mahoney. All right, I'm going to stick her Facebook into the Zoom chat would help.
Yes.
Okay, you can go and follow her and check out her YouTube as well. You'll find her on YouTube. Anything that she puts out is always full of absolute golden nuggets, as she calls them. So definitely worth listening to her and all of the bits and pieces. Okay, let's go through some of the questions.
Okay. I'm looking into the bios and sorry, let me repeat that. I'm looking into the bios, and when you're posting all the time and you don't have a website or anything yet, where do you direct them? I have noticed on some of the Instagrams they have shop now buttons on it.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you direct people when you're trying to build at first?
You can just build up your social media to quite a decent size on its own. You can use platforms like Etsy and Folksy and other third-party selling platforms if you want to sell and you don't have a website. But you can also use something like there are sales platforms. I would say that Shopify is by far the best for this, because it integrates directly into your social media platforms and allows you to literally put up the buy buttons right into the platform. And Shopify have, I'll show you. It's going to be easier to just show you because it's quite hard to see sometimes.
You don't need a website to have a shop on.
No, I've had people who have literally had, well, for example, there's a couple of people I know in America, they don't have a website at all, and yet they do weekly, I wouldn't call them, well, I suppose they are an auction really. What they do is they basically do a live video show, and they started doing it every month, and then they started moving it forward to weekly. And they literally just do a live video showcasing the products, holding the products up, telling people how many they had of each product, giving people information about it, and then telling people to just comment. And the first however many people in the comments could purchase the product. So you've then got their details, and then you can private message them a payment link through afterwards. So it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, you know. But a lot of people are not going to want to go live on video and start talking about the products, but it's where the money is. You can literally have your own TV show basically right there for free. It costs absolutely nothing. But 99.9% of people will be, hell no, I can't do that. But the people who do absolutely kill it. And you'll see people who do it with clothing as well. They'll stand there, they'll get dressed, they'll walk up and down their living room with the clothes, and they're selling live just through Facebook, and they're making a fortune from it. So sometimes it's about getting out of your own way and realizing that this is a business, and it's a bit of tough love here. And I am going to say this because I've been debating whether I say it or not. Now I'm just going to put it out there. You are running a business, and for some people, they are running a business, but they shouldn't be running a business. Some people love making soap. It makes them happy. It's their happy space. It's the best thing all week that happens to them, is that they get to make the soap or the bath bombs or the body creams or whatever it is. But they almost feel guilty for that enjoyment because it costs for the ingredients. So then they feel, well, I know I'll turn it into a business. And their heart isn't in it becoming a business. Their heart is in making the products. And there is nothing wrong with you having a hobby that you absolutely love. We all need some me time. We all need something that takes us away and makes us relax and enjoy our life. That's what life is about. So if you are running this as a business because you feel guilty in some way, maybe you feel guilty because you're spending money out of the family budget on those things. You think, well, if I run it as a business, then my partner isn't going to get upset with me. But you have to be realistic with yourself. There's nothing wrong with you having a hobby. And if you are doing it as a hobby, then stop telling yourself that you're doing it as a business and then not running it as a business. Just be honest with yourself and say, do you know what? I hate business. I don't want to sell. I don't like meeting people. I like doing my thing, making my creams, making my lotions, doing my soaps. And I don't want the rest of it. That's fine. But you have to be honest with yourself, because what will happen if you're not is that your business will not grow. It will fail. And you're going to start taking that internally and feeling that you are a failure because of it. And it's not that you're a failure at all. It's that you never, ever wanted it to be a business. You felt that you had to have it as a business. And that's very, very different. Now, there's another entire group of people who cannot wait to get away from corporate world or the job that they're in. That is the most unhappy place on the scale of 10 that they can be. And all they want is to be able to do this and turn this into a profitable enterprise that allows them to get the hell out of their job and do this full time. And if you are that person, you have to switch on to that as well in just the same way and stop thinking of it as a hobby, because it's not a hobby anymore. You need this to be profitable. You need it to grow. You need it to actually allow you to have energy. Money is energy. It's not selfish to want money. If you have money, you will have energy. You have the energy to relax, to embrace your life, to actually be free to test and try out new things in your world. So it's not a negative thing at all, it's a positive thing. But you've got to switch on to it as a business and think, okay, it's not about giving everybody all of my products for free. It's not about shying away behind a curtain and not daring to tell anybody about my products in case I upset them because I've been in their feet twice this month. If you were paying for a shop on a high street, would you close the shutters and not tell anyone you were there and just have everything all beautifully inside, but then open the door in case you offended somebody? Or would you be thinking, crikey, I've got all this rent to pay, I've got staff to pay, I need to make sure all my own bills are paid and my kids are okay. And you'd be making sure that you promoted it far and wide to get people through that door. Just because you're running it from home and you're running it online is no different. You need to be in front of people. Okay.
Fine.
Sarah,
Yes.
can I interrupt you for a second? Okay, so that was my question. Where, when I go on the bios, okay, there's a lot of people post, and like you're right, they post on Facebook, but they have these lovely pictures, they're beautiful, you look at them, the reels are fantastic, but there's no indication of what they're actually doing. Some are like, they design houses or they do this, that there's no, but then there's some of them that actually have on their profile in the back of on their bio, shop now. So when you click on to shop now, it brings them into this thing of where you see like the candles or whatever, and you can go and there's like a shopping cart. Do you know if Instagram's actually doing that, or they got a third party working on Instagram doing that?
I put a link up the other day for Instagram and Facebook where it takes you through all of the tutorials for the things you can do in the platform.
Okay. And is that on the because I left the last one.
No, I put it into the group.
Okay, I'll look at that.
I would definitely check there. It literally goes through everything. But if you just Google it as well, Instagram shop, it says, well, there's a couple of different platforms that sell on Instagram. But if you go to Instagram itself, it says, what is Instagram shopping? Everything you need to get started. And it's right there.
Okay.
And it will take you step by step all of the things that you can do in Instagram with your shopping.
Perfect.
Okay.
Do you have to pay for that service, Sarah?
It was when it first came out. If you're doing it through something like Shopify, which is what I was going to show you actually, wasn't I? Let me just go quickly to Shopify. So this is the Instagram page. Let me just go back a page. So if you just type in Instagram shop, this is a web platform. There's your Shopify, start selling anywhere. And then here's the actual Instagram one itself. So there's lots of information right there just on Google. But if you go to Shopify, most people go into Shopify and they're looking for how much is it to get a Shopify store. And they get to this page and they're like, okay, it's £19 a month, £49 a month, or £259 a month. And they just click on one of these and that's it. But don't do that because they've got other things as well. So if you keep scrolling, a bit naughty, but if you just keep scrolling down, look at this. There's a business solution for you from just £1 a month.
Oh, wow.
And this one allows you to sell your products through your social media and your messaging apps. And that's probably all you need for quite a while when you're getting started. You don't need a big fancy website. You just need a way to get in front of people. And this is going to probably do everything that you need for quite a long time. And then when you are ready for scaling up a little bit further, you can go up and you can just go on to one of their higher plans. But you're not then paying out, £49 a month right from the word go. You can just dip your toe in. This one is normally £5 a month, I think.
For 3 months.
But the first 3 months, it's only £1 a month. And even at a £5 a month, You don't have to sell much soap, do you, to cover that?
No.
You can also use the links on here. This is an unlimited amount of products. Now I'm saying this, but do please check because they change things all of the time. But this is basically what it's going to come up like. You'll have your product here and you'll have your little add to cart button and then more products that you've got available for sale underneath. So it's going to show them everything that you would need really to get started. But you can also just, let's say that someone wanted to know about, let's say that you had one of the ladies on here who sells beautiful Buddha beads. So let's say that you were selling Buddha beads and someone had asked you about them. You can literally just click on the link for this and email them the link directly or send that link to them as a DM in Facebook Messenger. And then all they have to do is click straight on the link and buy the product. So that would be super, super easy for you to be able to sell. You see, look, where can I find that last pin in your post? You can buy it here. And you just put the link straight up into any chats that you've got as well. So it's super easy for you to be able to promote and sell your products, but on a tiny budget, not paying out a lot of money for their normal plans. And they're a bit naughty because they obviously want people on their bigger tiers and they bury that one right at the bottom of the page. You just have to sometimes scroll through things. And quite often on programs, there are free versions. You just have to dig around a little bit and find them. Sometimes right in the bottom footer, there'll be free trial, but it's not mentioned anywhere else on their site. So always kind of have a look around.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, I find it difficult to take photos and post them as and when I make them. How do I prepare a few in one go and then post them out on different dates? This is your scheduling you were talking
Yeah,
about.
and that's what we're going to be looking at today is scheduling. So I'm definitely going to be covering
And
that
Canva
one.
can do a lot of pictures.
What, sorry?
You could probably do stuff with Canva with your pictures as well.
Well, I'll cover that.
Another question here, I think this is a good one. I'm currently building my business, so should I wait until everything is together because I don't have a social media page for it? You need to go through.
You're never, ever going to be ready. I've been doing this 30 years and I'm not ready even now. If I'd have waited, I'd have never have started.
You need to get the social.
No matter how long you wait and no matter how much you put into it, it will never be perfect because your idea of perfect will change all of the time. So you just have to go with the flow, get brave and just get yourself out there. You will learn by doing it. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fall over a few times. It's like riding a bike and you just pick yourself up and you learn from it. And then you move on and you do it the next day and the next day and the next day. And whether that's a post, whether that's a product launch, whatever, an event, whatever it is, there's going to be great ones and shit ones. And you're just going to have to ride through it and learn.
Plus, you want to build your social media before the product
Yeah.
launches. So now you have it. So you already have an audience waiting for your product.
Yeah, we mentioned this in the first week. You always, you want to include them. Has everybody, let me just bring it up. Has everybody got this weekly post planner?
Yeah.
You all downloaded that?
Yeah.
Okay, so in here, it's going through what you want your week to be structured like. So Monday we've done promotion, Tuesday behind the scenes, then an educational, something that's more customer focused, then something on tips and tricks or something fun, and then something a little bit more human at the weekend, where they're building know, like, and trust about you, and things that what we call lifestyle, kind of lifestyle. So it's just sharing little bits about you as the person rather than always being business orientated. So it could just be, you know, where you're going that weekend, a special event that you went to, you know, something nice that's happened to you that people can celebrate with you. They're not looking to know every single part of your life. but it's just getting to know you a little bit. But I really suggest that you use this and then start planning everything out. Because if you could plan at least 4 weeks in advance, that's the ideal, is to have 4 weeks worth already mapped out. And then that way you'll already have a list of all of the photos that you need to produce. You'll know what videos you need to produce. And it will make it just a ton easier for you putting everything together. If you don't do this, you'll make your products 1 week and then you'll come to actually put everything together and then realize you don't have half of the material that you need to put your posts together. But by planning everything, you really will be able to a lot more. Sorry.
Another question is, what's the best time to post?
We've covered this a couple of times. There is no best time. It's what's right for you, and it's something that you'll find after a while of testing things. But as I've mentioned now, normally post something for when they're getting up in the morning. That's the main one of the day. So they might be traveling to work, or they might have got to work and be absolutely fed up that they're there, so they sit and look at their social feed. So that's normally the best time in the day. And then you've got lunchtime when people, again, they're just sitting at their desk or having a bit of a break. And then in the evening, you'll find people get the dinner out of the way and then they sit down and they're on social again for a few hours before bed. So you'll find which you get the most traction in, and feel free to play around. But I would make sure that your main post goes up nice and early.
Do you have any specific tips on increasing followers, or does it happen the more you post?
Yeah, you've just got to be consistent and keep posting. You'll start noticing if you use the audit that we put up, you'll start registering all of the posts that you're doing, and then you can look at your numbers and you'll start seeing patterns in the types of posts that are getting the most engagement. So you'll know what your audience really is starting to like, and then you can create more of those types of posts. But don't be afraid to put polls up. You know, you can use polls to find out what they like, what they're interested in, and help them be part of your business. The sooner that you actually start on social media, the better. I always suggest actually starting your social media as soon as you're thinking of starting a business, because you're including them from day one. And that means that you're getting their input all of the way through. So by the time you actually launch your business, you've already got a stack of people who are behind you, and they've watched you build it and go through all of the struggles and all of the successes. And they literally feel like they've helped you build the entire business and made the soap with you. And when you get that right, they are so invested in that brand that they'll be your cheerleaders for years.
Do you think that paid advertising with the likes of Facebook is worth it nowadays?
It is still worth it, but there's no point doing it if you don't have a big enough following, because you're not going to get enough traction from your posts. That's for later on. You need to be working on organic traffic at the beginning.
Question is, you'll post on Shopify, and where can the products be found? I don't understand Shopify very well. Can you help?
Yeah, so Shopify is just basically a website. It's a web platform. So your products will be listed on there. You'll have your products on there. It just won't be a fully functioning, all singing, all dancing one. It's more the one I showed you that's on the £1 a month for 3 months. That is more for you selling through social media and through Messenger or DMs, private messages.
All right.
Okay. So someone asked about images, and I'm going to share with you a couple of softwares. So at the moment, it's probably taking you quite a while to do your posts, especially if you're new to it. And you're not alone in this. It does take a little bit of time. But there are apps out there that make things an awful lot easier. They just simplify it, and it takes next to no time to do. Most of them seem to be based on your phone, and they all have slightly different things that are better than another. So if you can take them for a test drive, I would. I wouldn't necessarily sign up for a whole year. I might pay for 1 month and see if you like it before paying for a whole year, and find one that you really, really enjoy. This first one is called Pixel Cut. And I've put this one up because it's a really good app, but it also has a free section in it. So I would definitely go on there and have a look. You can do all sorts of different things, but it's free and it's quick to use. I showed you something like this recently where you can take your picture. It's probably going to make me sign up. No, it's not. So you can take your original image, which is here on a background. You can make it with the white background, which is perfect if you want it for a catalogue or to sell on Etsy or Amazon, because they want white backgrounds. Or you can take the background away completely and have it transparent. Once it's transparent, you can then pick a theme and it will put all of the background in for you and generate all of these different types of shots. And they've got lots and lots of different options for you. And this is completely free. So I would definitely go on and have a look at what elements they've got that are free and which ones are paid. Some of the things that they've got in here are paid and some of them are free. So check it out, have a look and see what you like. Now, one of the things that they've got are these stories. These are not free. But they have hundreds and hundreds of these story templates and animated story templates, just every kind of thing that you could possibly want. And then also they have these colorful backgrounds. So you can take the background away from your item and then put any color of the rainbow that you want behind it. So here you can see with the handbag, they've taken the same handbag and then they've put a whole load of different backgrounds to it. And you could do that with, you know, whether you're doing jewelry or whether you're doing printables or whether you're doing soap or whether you're doing body oils or shaving products, anything, candles, anything you could do this with. But they've got so many different templates and it's just so easy to put these together. And they've got some really fun things where you can duplicate the images over and over and twist them around so it looks like you're all over the place. So you can have, I did this with some candles actually, and we put the same candles in about 4 places on the images and then we outlined them all and that looked a bit funky. And you can change the same shot into different ratios depending on what platform you're in and what social platform, so orientation and platform. And you can post directly from here. So there really is something for everybody, stickers, music, everything. So that's one for you and it's called Pixel Cut. Most of these are in your app store, by the way. This one, I did use this for a while and then I found others that were better and I stopped using it, but you might really, really like it. It's really good if you're doing videos because it does all of the video editing as well. And it's called InShot. And again, they've got loads of stickers and texts and things that you can do with your videos and lots of free music for you to put to your videos as well. The next one is wonderful. It's called InStories. And guess what? It's stories. Lots and lots of different types of templates for you. I mean, probably a couple of 100,000 templates, I think. When you look at all of the different ones, all of the different formats, everything, tutorials are there, all of the things that you want, you can have a look through it and get started with that. I don't know if they have a free plan. Oh, it does say that they do have a free plan. So definitely check it out and work out what's free. Lots of filters, lots of funky stuff. It makes it really interactive. This one I found really, really good, Photo Room. So this one again, it's literally just a click of a button to remove the background from your image. So if your background isn't very white and it's quite muddy and it just doesn't look very attractive, get rid of the background, brighten everything up, and then put a nice bright funky pattern or gradient or a background or something behind it. And did you see on this one here, oops, I'll go back, see if it comes around again. They had a collection of cosmetics and they didn't want one of the items in the shot. And you literally just mouse over it and it just disappears. So they just get rid of those bottles and they just want those 3. And there you go. So there's lots of transitions, lots of little funky things you can do with your videos. It's a really nice one. And they do have a whole collection of free tools as well here. So definitely play around with some of these, the magic blur background, the magic retouching, background removers, AI generators for your backgrounds. Go and check out what you could do for free or do a free trial and see if you like that one or not. What else did I get for you? Actually, there's only one other one and it's not on here. I must have got rid of it for some reason. Why did I get rid of it? Okay, I'll bring it up. The other one is called Snapseed. And Snapseed is a Google app. And it's brilliant. So if you've got rubbish photos, and I think we all do at some point or another, we're not all professional photographers. But if you've got photos that are just not looking their best and they need optimizing, it's a completely free tool. This is so powerful. You can do so much with Snapseed to make really, really gorgeous photos. There are lots of videos on YouTube that will help you get started with this, and they've got their own tutorials as well. But it's honestly, it's a game changer when it comes to editing your photos. So hopefully you've enjoyed learning about some of those. And I can't remember which of those it is, might even be a couple, but the difference is with those, you can literally go into your camera feed on your phone and click on, say, 7 different images, and it just puts them straight into a reel for you. And it will crop each one to the right length for that particular music clip. So you're not having to mess around, it's just done automatically. And then you can put some text or stickers on there and it's done. I mean, it's literally a minute or 2 and the whole thing is done and looking absolutely amazing. So I'd really, really suggest that you look at those. Okay, I just closed Instagram. Why did I close Instagram? Okay, so what I wanted to do was to show you how to create a post and schedule it onto Facebook. And it really, really is so easy to post. Let me go into Ninjas and do it in there.
Schedule
Okay.
onto Facebook, did you say, or Instagram?
I'm going into Facebook.
Okay.
So in Facebook itself, if I want to put a post into Facebook, let's just do a post. Let's do buy my stuff. Great deals now. There you go. That's what most people do anyway. All right. So let's say you've got well, let's really go to town. Let's put it on a background. All right. So now we've got a background and some text. We've really moved things on, but you'd probably take it into Canva, add a nice image, do all of the things and make a proper post. But now you want to put one up now, maybe, but maybe you also have just created another few and you want to be able to schedule them. How do you do that? Or maybe you've created it now because you've got some time now, but you don't actually want this going out until lunchtime or, 7 o'clock in the evening or something like that. Well, if you come down here, instead of the post button, you've got this little black and white button. And if you click on that or hover over it, it says schedule post. If you click on that, it comes up with the date and the time. And then we can literally just pop what date we want it to go out on. So we'll say the 2nd of March. And then what time do we want it going out? Oh, it is the 2nd of March. All right, let me change that to the 3rd, and then I've got time to delete it, so people don't think I've gone weird. All right, let's say 8:15 in the morning, and then we just press schedule. And over here, it's come up and it says your post is scheduled, and you can click on it and view it. And then you can reschedule it, or you can post it straight away if you're ready to. But it says it's up there. It's going to be going out on the 3rd of March at 8:15 in the morning. Okay. Now, what if you didn't see that message and you didn't get a chance to check it then? How can you see what's scheduled where? Well, if you come over to this side, you've got this little box that says schedule posts. So in your menu bar, you can click on that at any time at all. So if I click off and on it, it's always there. And you can go back in and you can change it. So if I want to change it, I can come up to here and I can change things here. I can edit it, I can delete it, or I can just post it now. And I can also do it here. So I can change the date if I decide I don't want that post going out on that day. Maybe. So this happened when the Queen died. People had them all scheduled to go out, but then obviously it wasn't appropriate to be sending all sorts of fun posts and bits and pieces on that day. So you just go in and you schedule that to go out on a different day. Okay. Is everyone following that?
I use that one.
It's so easy. There are ways that you can schedule things elsewhere. So you can use Canva to schedule, but Facebook and Instagram, any of the platforms, always prefer you using their own tools. Now, I know it's not always possible, but they do prefer you using their tools over third-party tools.
And then with the Facebook and Instagram, they'll allow you to schedule your reels.
Exactly.
Canva won't.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go into Canva to your left menu, it says content planner. And it will actually, I use this in a different way. So I don't schedule from here, I have, but it's clunky because you can only do one at a time. And it doesn't always work either. So you have to then go in and check things. But what it is good for is it comes up with all of these dates. So if you're thinking, oh, crikey, what can I talk about this week? Or what special events are coming up? You can actually look at it and say, okay, it's International Women's Day. I'm going to do a feature about that. And then you can plan. So use it for giving you information about different dates and other bits and pieces. But I wouldn't necessarily use this as my go-to scheduler. And then if you go to Instagram, you can schedule in Instagram as well. But as you just mentioned, you can actually schedule. I haven't got any posts to put up in here, but you can actually schedule your reels as well as your normal posts in Instagram. Don't forget, anything that you do in Instagram, you can have automatically posted into your Facebook group. So then you're now on 2 platforms, but you only did it once. So that's quite fun to do.
Can you schedule posts on a personal profile or just pages and groups?
Ooh.
I can see it for pages. I'm not sure.
Ooh, do you know? I don't know, because I normally only do it for my groups, but I have all of them. So let's go and have a look. I will have a look. That is a very good question.
Looking right now on the.
Are you looking at your personal?
trying to.
Okay, I'll go into a page and do it as a page. No, so I'll show you on a page. So this post is fab. Okay. let me
Can I
go-
just say, Sarah, so I've got a group, I've got a page, and I've got a personal profile. But my personal profile is also, I act as a business profile because I'm a life coach. So I know I can do it for my page and my group, but I can't work out how to do it on my personal profile.
So this is the thing. If you look at, is this for Facebook?
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah. So Facebook do not want you running anything to do with business on a personal profile. It's actually against their terms and conditions.
Right,
They
okay.
can shut you down for running anything to do with a business on your personal account. So
Okay.
you have to have a personal account to have your page or your group, because they're linked to a person. So it's always a personal page, you know, your own personal profile, and then any groups and pages off of that, which you run for your coaching or your business in any form. But be really, really careful running your coaching services through there, because they can literally just shut you down overnight, and then you're left like, where's my business? Where's all my people? And you have to start from zero. Go and have a look at their terms of service, but it's very, very clear that you're not allowed to run businesses from personal profiles.
Yeah, a lot of the industry that I'm in are very similar to me, and I call my contacts on there, like over 1,200 people, are all just business related. So yeah, that's really interesting. I've got to go back and look at that. Thank
I would, because it
Mhm.
happens all of the time where the accounts get shut down and they've lost, you know, it takes them ages then building everything back up again. And it will be really easy for you to start a group where you can actually do more as well, because then you can share files with them and, you know, and have more engagement as well.
Yeah, yeah. I've
There's
got a-
more of a community space then. So
Just so a quick question. So with Instagram, you get a choice to have a business or a personal profile. The
yes.
same rules don't apply to Instagram, do they?
No.
No. Okay.
So with Instagram, you can start just on your personal profile and then move into a business later.
You get more
Yeah.
options.
You get more options, but in Facebook, they're very against you running anything businessy on your personal profile.
Right. Okay.
Instagram advises if you're doing business stuff.
Yeah. Well, Instagram does advise you to run it as a business account, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read even quite recently, because I try and they change things. So I try, and I only checked about, definitely in the last couple of weeks, wasn't it, that we went in and had a look.
Yeah.
And they were basically saying you can start as one and then move over to the other one.
Mhm.
Okay,
Thank
what was
you.
I going to share my screen for? Does anyone know? Oh, I know. Okay, so this is in a page rather than a group. So I've put a post up, and here it says schedule your post from a planner in the Meta Business Suite. So it's a business page, therefore it comes under the Meta Business Suite pages. So when you want to schedule it, you click on that, and you have to go into your Meta Business Suite to schedule from there, rather than directly from your page. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, if you've got a business page rather than a business group, that's what you'll see. Is it will come up and it will say you have to post it from your planner in, and it has the link right there. You literally just click on it and it will take you through to your Meta page. And then there's all of your normal scheduling and everything. It just looks a bit different. Now, if yours looks different when you go into yours, that's not uncommon. Anytime, and it's why I generally try to avoid making videos specifically showing you click here and click there and click this next, because on any single day there are a minimum of 60 different versions of Facebook running. 60. So I can guarantee if you all brought up what you saw on your phone or your computer right now, it would not be the same as the next person and the next person. They're always pushing different things out to different places and trying different things out. And it is impossible to keep up with them. They make hundreds of changes every single day. It is a physical impossibility to do. So you'll get used to when they do a major update and suddenly everything is in a different place and you're like, where is it? What happened? And then you'll just get used to it again and then they'll change it again. But all of the functionality will be there. It might just be in a slightly different place now. So and that will happen with all of the platforms. That's sadly just something that you will have to get used to. Okay, we've gone just over the hour. I want to stay on. If you've got any questions at all, come on to me now and let's go over them together.
Okay.
Any questions about scheduling first?
Mm-mm.
Is everyone okay with scheduling? It really is so easy. And I'd encourage you to start trying to post several, create several things all at the same time, even if there's slight variations of what you're posting. Because remember, most people aren't even going to see it. Look at me. I can see something this morning and not even know I've ever seen it this afternoon. Over 50 syndrome. We lead busy lives, your brains leak. Even if you looked at it and thought, that's great. By tomorrow, you're like, oh, this is lovely. This is great. As if you'd never seen it before. So don't be afraid to maybe take that post and think, do you know what? I'm going to run several different versions of this text through ChatGPT. I'm going to put a couple of different images in there, or, zoom in on one section of the photo, make it look a little bit different, and schedule them out so that you're not wearing yourself out with posting.
I just wanted to ask a question, Sarah. You said something, with Shopify.
Yes.
You mentioned that you're selling through social media. So you can, how does that work? So you're saying that shop is it connected to?
We put a link
Yeah,
up.
you link it to your social media site. And they take you through step by step. It's really easy. It's just a couple of button clicks and it takes you through. So on the example I showed you, it actually showed you what it would be like. Let me see if I can bring it back up again. Did I close it down? I did. Okay, so Shopify. Okay, so just scroll on by all the way down. And we want this one, Explorer Starter.
I think she's asking, like, how did you get from the Facebook page to here?
Well, it will take you through when you sign in and you set it all up. You sign up for free, and then you'll get your. I think you actually. Well, it says sign up for free, so you probably get a little kind of trial of it to play around with first.
Okay.
Because it does say that you can try it for free, no credit card required. So you can just have a little play. But then when you actually have it hooked up to your account, it will use the API key from your social media account, and you just type it in and it says, do you accept, do you give permission for it to use this account or link this account? You click yes, and it will do all of the work.
Okay.
So you'll be able to literally have everything up there, just like on a website. You'll see the products, but inside social media itself, you'll be able to send messages to people and highlight a specific product. So, if someone was asking if you do gift sets, you can send them the links to 2 or 3 gift sets and it will pop straight up in their feed. Or you could really personalize this and make it a lot more personal than you would with a normal website, because you can say, tell me a little bit about the person. What do they like? How old are they? What's the color of the bathroom? It could be all sorts of things. And then you personalize the options that you're putting forward to them as what you think will best suit that particular person. And you can showcase specific products that you think will be ideal. You wouldn't ever get that with a normal website. You're just like, we'll go here and have a look.
Mm.
And I think part of that personal connection is what's missing. People love that. So this, although it's not as fancy as a full website, I think it actually has almost more possibilities in some ways. And here again, you can monetize your link in your bio, you know, directly in there. So they can go straight into the things, check stuff out and buy it right there. I think it's great. You know, definitely check it out. It's a nice, simple way to get started. And honestly, for some people, it's all you'll ever need.
Mm.
Another question is a white background better for a website? Some companies put their soaps with different backgrounds, but is white better for selling?
So it depends on the platform that you're selling. Different platforms have different requirements. If you're selling on Etsy,
It's white.
then you can put any image up at all. Think of your images in different ways. We want styled shots or lifestyle shots. So there's lifestyle shots, styled shots, and then plain boring, just the product shots. And you need all three for your business. If you're putting something on Etsy and you put it with all things in the background, whether that's colorful backgrounds, whether that's you can see things in the background, or whether you've got it on a table with props and things like that, and you put those images up, if your first image is one of those shots, you'll never, ever get seen on Etsy, because Etsy is an AI platform and it basically has a system built into it where it used to be called spiders. But basically the search engine goes through your account and it looks at the first image. And it's a computer that's literally looking and checking at what that product is. So it scans the image and it's clever enough with the AI that it identifies what that product is that you're selling. And the requirements are that it should be on a pure white background with nothing else in the shop, just the product that you're selling. And that's because the AI system needs to be able to identify exactly what the product is, so it knows who to put the product in front of. So if you're putting styled products on there, or styled shots where you've got, you know, well, maybe you've put it on a chopping board and there's a book open at the side and a vase of flowers and some other things in the shot. That's a styled shot. But now the computer can't identify what you're actually selling. It's just a jumble of different products. So it will never actually categorize you and put you in front of people. So you're missing out on lots of traffic. Now, as long as that first picture is of a white background, all of the other images can be styled. And they're the images where you want to show it in a setting. So you're trying to show it off as someone would use it, or in a lifestyle setting. So in a bathroom with some beautiful props, or however you want to do it. Those are the other shots, but that first one needs to be on a white background. If you're selling on Amazon, for example, Amazon require you to use an all white background. So a lot of the sites want all white backgrounds. If you're putting stuff out to press releases, they want a pure white background. They might want some styled shots as well, but they still need these pure white backgrounds. If you're going to do your product catalog, your sales catalog, pure white background for your main shot. So they're a classic. And all of these tools I've been sharing with you today and previously, all will give you tools that will now instantly take that background away for you and give you the perfect white background. So you're not having to mess around pixel by pixel, cutting them out like I used to have to do. It used to take hours just to actually get everything cut out and then put it onto a white background.
What about a personal website?
It's exactly the same. You know,
White background first.
you don't have to have just a pure white background, but people want to be able to see what it is that you're selling. I've seen people where there's so much in the picture, I can't actually see what's being sold. You know, there's dishes of shea butter and half a dozen other products and props and flowers and this, that, and the other. And it's like, when you're flicking through, and people do, they scan through images really, really quickly. I'm not seeing any one particular product. I'm just seeing a blur of colors and products. I've no idea what's actually on sale. Make it absolutely obvious to the person what the product is. Keep it super simple. Did you notice on that, on the app that I showed you, where you can get rid of the background and have that candle? Even when they put it into backgrounds, the backgrounds were super simple. So it was still the star of the shot. It was still the main focus of each shot. It wasn't completely buried in noise.
Because somebody's doing my website and they said have these white backgrounds, and he took some photographs, but it's made the colours of the soap look awful. Like I do a blue one and it's quite a pretty sky blue, and it's come out quite darkish grey colour. And I also have these purple net bags and they've come out almost looking black.
No. They should be able to remove the background without altering the colour of the image at all. It should just take the background away. So if that's not happening, you need to go back to them and ask them to remove the background, but without altering the colour of the products. They're not using the right tools.
I'll tell him then, because he just said, oh, you know, I've done what I can do. And I thought, yeah, but they look,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't buy from myself.
Exactly. So I would be really cautious, because it doesn't sound, I mean, I'm sharing free tools with you that will do that with one click. One click. So tell him some of the tools he can use.
Thank you.
A lot
Thanks.
of times when you want to have pictures with stuff in the background, but that's your socializing kind of post.
So you definitely want, if you just had all of your photos up on a website with white backgrounds, what a boring world we'd live in. You know, you want them styled and you want them looking gorgeous. You want people feeling that they can see that product in their life. So you need to have both in there. For your social media, you'd be doing lifestyle products, how they are in use, or with some nice bits and pieces around them.
But when they actually go to the sales page.
But when that goes to the sales page, you want it to be absolutely clear that that is the thing that they are purchasing. Because what happens is people say, oh, well, I thought it was coming with these other things as well.
Yeah.
Or I thought I got, you know, people will put a set of 3 candles out and the listing says it's for 1, but the image shows 3. That person thought they were buying 3 products. So that's why you have absolute clarity on one of your images. So it's this is what you're getting, and the description reflects that. And then the rest of them could be lifestyle images.
It's encouraging that it's taken you 30 years to get to this stage, because I'm 6 months in, well, it might be 8 or 9 months now, and I feel despondent sometimes.
Well, don't, because I love learning. I couldn't imagine life without learning. It's just, I can't, it's like breathing to me. If I don't learn something new every day, I've not been awake that day. You know, it just doesn't happen. And there's always something new out there. You know, life shouldn't be boring. If you're doing the same thing every single day, whether you're doing it for yourself or whether you're doing it for, you know, someone else's business, it's going to become boring. So you want to be able to change things up and try new things out. And the whole point about having your own business is that you have the freedom to experiment and play around with some of these things. You know, that's half of the fun. So don't ever be afraid to try things out. And some of them are going to just be complete failures. And you think, what was I thinking? Or that looks absolutely dreadful. But you know what? You did it and you learned from it. And the next time you do it, you'll have learned something new. And by next week, you'll be putting stuff out that's miles above half of your competition and loving it.
question on scheduling. What about using something like Hootsuite
Yeah.
to schedule on different platforms at one time?
Yeah, fantastic. Great program, really good program, but expensive. So we're back into time versus money. There are lots of different tools out there, Adrian, whether you use Hootsuite or one of the other ones. You know, if you're a multi-entrepreneur and you've got multiple businesses, you can run, you know, a whole load of them all on the one platform and be scheduling out to all of them. It honestly just depends whether you want to go down that road and pay, or whether you want to start with this, and when your business is generating enough income and it makes sense for you to have something that has a lot more options, then look at things like Hootsuite.
Another question is Instagram or Facebook the best platform to use to draw interest in a soon to be launched company?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, I am not a TikToker. I lost a whole week to TikTok in lockdown. And after that, I mean, I literally did nothing, but I just sat there. I barely got any sleep. It was so funny. I wet myself laughing. And after a week, I removed it from my phone and I thought, you know what? If I stay on here, I am never going to get any work done again. I'm just going to lose my life to this thing. So I removed it and I've never looked back. But it can be an incredibly good platform for launching small businesses. It has some great templates and all sorts of things in there to help small businesses. It's super switched on for helping you. And people are very supportive of new businesses on there. It's a very good way of growing a following quickly. And that might be for you. So don't rule TikTok out. It's just not one that I can tell you much about because it's not one that I've used for my own business. But it does get very good results.
Can you schedule reels? You said that before, I think you mentioned something.
On Instagram.
So Instagram, you can't schedule reels?
Yeah.
Okay. Another question is, I have a website for my soap business. It doesn't get a great deal of views. I do most of my sales through white label, but would love to sell more of my own soaps. Would it be helpful to use something like Shopify as well? I didn't get anywhere with Etsy.
Etsy can be good, but it's a numbers game. Most third-party selling platforms are a numbers game. If you only have a few products, it's going to be really hard to get any traction. And you've got to actively be sending people to the platform to buy, otherwise you're paying the higher fees for using their audience. So the way that they work on somewhere like Etsy is, if you send the traffic to Etsy, you pay a much smaller commission. Whereas if the person has come directly from Etsy and found you through Etsy, you pay a higher commission fee because you haven't sent that traffic. They've basically channeled their traffic to you. So they're doing all of the advertising for you. So if you haven't got a decent number of products, you're invisible. And you've got to constantly be sending people to the platform to get the sales, to show Etsy that people like your products and that you're a trusted brand. Once it starts ticking over and you're getting regular sales, it will start putting you in front of more people. But that's going to take time unless you're feeding everything through that initially. So if you just stick up, 3 bars of soap and then do nothing with it and expect Etsy to do all of the work, you'll get absolutely no sales from it.
Another good question is, my website is through Wix, so it doesn't link with Facebook or Instagram. Can you see any reason why I shouldn't have Shopify stores just for social media?
Or just move the entire thing. Start off, it's really simple to use and it's not expensive. Start with the Shopify one. If you find that it's going to do everything that you want, ditch Wix, save yourself some money.
And do they take a cut? I'm not sure what that means.
You'd need to go on. I don't know. I don't know who's doing all of the card payments, etc. for that. So normally, when it doesn't matter who you're selling with online, there are normally fees that are incurred with the actual shopping cart themselves. Sean, could you find the link that you put up the other day for Facebook and Instagram and just repost that for everybody? Because it literally has it's literally like the A to Z of everything that you want to know for Instagram or for Facebook. It's right there on those 2 pages. And you can just go through and actually have a look. And one thing I would say, we've talked about Shopify a few times today. Shopify have one of the most amazing blogs out there when it comes to helping small businesses. It is packed with absolutely fabulous posts to help you grow your business. And it's a free resource. So go on there and start having a look at some of them. Seriously, it will be the best thing you could do. If you've got a lunch break and you're not busy, go on there and start reading some of these posts. You know, if you're stuck on a particular thing or you're wanting to do more on a particular topic, just search on posts on those particular topics and learn more. It is one of the best resources out there for you. Okay, is that everything done?
There's one more question. I've been invited to my first event with images of, if any, be good to have on the stand.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually recommend that everybody takes an electronic photo frame to an event, any event that you go to. It's a way that you can put stacks of information onto, you know, some text, some information, images of you making the product, helping people connect and see that this is a handmade product. It could be photos of, you know, where you live. If you live in a lovely rural area, if you're on a farm, whatever it is, help people understand your brand and why this is special, and have those images right there. You'd be amazed how much of a difference it makes. But you can also print images out and have them put in photo frames to create a theme around a particular soap as well.
Someone was asking, do these platforms have their own payment schemes, or can you send your buyers through to the license?
They're all slightly different. So you'd need to have a look and see which ones allow you to do what and on what level.
When you're in them, just look in the settings. They should have something for business connections or payment link or payment setup. So they'll tell you if you can put in PayPal or Stripe or Apple Pay.
Because some of them might allow you to do more payment systems at certain levels, but not on maybe a lower tier. So just have a look and see what they allow, and different platforms allow different things. Okay.
Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, I got 2 questions. Okay, so I've been looking into Etsy and then Instagram to doing a shop. Okay, so I've just registered while we were talking on the Shopify to hook up to my Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't want to do Etsy because when people shop on Etsy, including myself, I buy whatever I see, but I don't actually really pay attention to the actual store I'm buying. Where when you buy on Instagram, you would see the handle, okay, of like what it is. But my question to you is, you know, when you have your Instagram and you have your Etsy and you have all this stuff, would you have everything put on a business card of like your Etsy, your Shopify, your Instagram, all of that stuff? Or would you just have your major ones? So if I was to do just like Instagram and Facebook and make most of it there.
It can go both ways. If you are just starting out on Etsy and you want more traffic to Etsy, then you switch everything to Etsy for a while so that you're sending everybody there to send the signals to Etsy that you are trustworthy, that you're bringing people to the platform, you're helping them help you. So they're more likely to start pushing you out to people. So you put everything, push them all towards Etsy for that period of time. Once you're more established on there, there's nothing wrong with then putting your own, other platform information up as well, so that people can come direct to you. But whatever is the most important for you to grow at that one time is what you want to be featuring.
Okay.
And you can actually have more than one business card. So you can have one that's got everything on it. And then when you're doing events, you can have something else where you're
Yes.
just deliberately making them go. So let's say that you were doing it to Etsy. You can actually send them to Etsy, but on your business card, you might have a coupon code that they can use on your Etsy site. You're tailoring
Ah,
the promotions specifically to that one site.
okay. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Because I didn't know, because sometimes, you know, when you see you have like a business card and you have the person's logo and the address, everything's really looking nice. But I've seen some other cards where they have everything listed, and to me, I find that looks clunky. I
Yeah.
find it looks too much information, so I just ditch it. Where if they just had like their Instagram handle or they had their Etsy handle, I would pay attention because it's too fine. The print goes too small.
Let me just try and show you something.
Could you do a double-sided business card?
Yeah, if someone already lives on
So
Instagram,
you've got
they'll
your main thing
automatically
on the
go.
front and then all your other little bits on the back.
If someone's already on Instagram and they love Instagram, the one thing that they'll look for is your Instagram.
Mhm.
If someone lives on Facebook, they'll automatically look for the Facebook. They zone out of the rest of them. I don't know what you would call it. Let me just see if I can. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to just share my screen again with you. So if you are going to an event, I actually suggest that you get one of these made up, and they're beautiful.
Mm.
So with these, I mean, they look gorgeous, don't they? And you can have them done in any color that you want. And then people can literally just use the QR codes and get your information straight into their phone. So it's great because if someone's, you're saying to people, you're asking them to follow you, or they're asking, I used to get asked all of the time, what other events are you doing? Well, all they have to do is click on the QR code and all of your other events that you're going to be at will be right in there. So they can they can go straight to your website. You can have it with the list of events. You can put whatever you like on here and you can have these made up. So if we click on this one, so they've got their Instagram, their Facebook and their website. And then people will just scan it straight with their phone.
That's smart.
And they look really professional as well.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of different price points on these. But yeah, they're lovely. Or like this one here. So appointments. So the appointments one is great if you've got like you're a hairdresser or doing aesthetics.
Mm-hmm.
This one, leave me a review. So that's great. Someone's shopping at your stall and they can just click on that QR code and then do a review straight to wherever you want the review sending to. So that could be straight to your Facebook page or onto Google or wherever. Or if you want them to connect on social, then you put the connect with us on social and it's right there.
See, I think that looks so clean.
It does.
Yeah, because I find when you look and you get someone's business card, I either think you get business cards that look like tacky, or you get like a business card where you go, oh, this is really nice. And when you get the one that's really nice, it always makes, I like this. I think it's brilliant.
In Etsy, I just typed social acrylic because I know they're acrylic and I know I'm wanting them for social.
Yeah.
But you can have these done. Oh, they're so beautiful. And they do them for your business names. So if I just put business acrylic, you see they do them with your logos and stuff on as well. I mean, they just look absolutely lovely. And then you can have them just on your actual stand and they look great. Absolutely great.
Yeah.
So there's another tip for you. It just looks really professional when you've got something like that. And actually they will do these for you. They're often used for weddings. But they can do them for you where they actually do the descriptions of your products. So, like name cards. when you're displaying the products on your stalls. If you want a stall that's really, really high end and looks gorgeous, get some of these made up. They're not that expensive for the individual ones. And then they'll put the name of the soap or whatever, and the information piece, and then a QR code, which could have all of the information with the ingredients or, tips and information about the product that can go right to their phone. And they look really, really smart and professional, very high end, clean, minimalist look for you. Okay.
Brilliant.
Did you get lots of value today?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
It's hard. There's a lot of different pieces that you're putting together. So next week, we're going to be talking about repurposing. And that's an important part of it all as well, because we don't want to be reinventing the wheel. So we'll be looking at different things for repurposing. And then I'm going to be talking to you about what happens after this, because your social media doesn't just stop after the 4 weeks. And what I'd like to do is to transition really from this 4-week program into like a proper membership where we come on every single month and we work through a whole load of things every month together and in the group. And because you've already been in Social Stars, it's only going to be a really small fee for the whole year for you. So there's absolutely no reason for you to not be consistent and moving forward with your social media all year. And you've got me behind you. So if some of this feels overwhelming right now, that's fine. Start at the basic steps and hopefully we'll be able to work with you all of the way through the year, and you'll gradually start adding and adding and adding. So that's what I want to be able to do with you. I want to show you other ways of creating your content on themes and really starting to dial down into different methods and different psychological techniques that you can use as well to help overcome people's fears or procrastinations when they're looking at buying things. So all of those can start being added in as well.
Will the Social Stars group on Facebook keep going even after the 4 weeks?
Yes.
Oh,
it will always be there for you, but I don't want to rerun it as a 4-week group. I want, as a 4-week course, I really want people to have long-term support where we can help build them up over a much longer period of time and take them from the initial steps to really start compounding all of this so that they start growing and growing and growing through the year. And also adding on lots of new things, as new things come out, I can show you all of the new things, show you what's working now. Social media is constantly moving. So you want to be on the leading edge of things. So it just enables me to, and it won't be for everybody. Other people will be like, no, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. But for some of you, you want to be able to take it further. And that's what I'll be offering. All right, so I'm going to go now and rest my voice a little bit. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you next week.
Thank
Do
you.
start
Thank
posting.
you. Bye, Sarah.
Post. Show me what you're actually putting up there. We all want to support you. So if you put a link to what you're putting on social, we can all start liking it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.